prosecute those CIA agents. But nevertheless, the al-Nashiri's lawyers would like to have those CIA agents come to court and testify. I mean, they are the subject of, an internal investigation. Clearly, the government knows who did that to al-Nashiri. So ultimately, I mean, this is, in a sense, this is what the military commissions look like, where the courtroom is on the inside and then journalists and observers are behind this kind of glass. I mean, I can't say that there's really an end to this talk because we haven't even started the trials. The trials are not even slated for another year at best. But what people who are knowledgeable in following these things would say, for example, David Glazer, who's a retired member of the military and is now one of the most prominent experts on military commissions, having studied these things for years, was optimistic when Obama came in, now is watching, basically said, we should call these things what they are. What's going on down in these military commissions, this is the torture commission. The rules, the procedures, the evidence, the treatment of lawyers, etc. It is all to maintain the secrecy of past torture and to prevent that torture from being part of these trials. And Eugene Fidel, who's the head of the National Institute for Military Justice, basically has summarized quite aptly that the military commissions are antithetical to the administration of justice. They're slow, they're opaque, and the rules are currently unknown. So just to pull it back for 1 minute and one step, backwards to draw the larger picture. In the American legal system, there's a saying called the fruit of the poisonous tree. In other words, if the police or the government does something illegal at the beginning of somebody being captured and arrested, that's, and for example, beats them for a statement, anything that comes out of that, even if other things are derived later in legal ways, is called fruit of the poisonous tree. In other words, that the tree has been poisoned once you do something illegal to somebody. And in some ways, the treatment of prisoners at Guantanamo, and certainly the treatment of prisoners who are in CIA custody, is fully, a poisonous tree. Both the Bush administration and the Obama administration have claimed that by bringing in clean teams to interview people, legally later, they can get clean statements. But that's, a question. But among the things that this poisonous tree with very long branches or roots, because the United States is a big country, the fact that the United States legalized torture, and then even when it unlegalized torture, it never pursued any kind of accountability. It means that this has had an effect on international legal norms. Other governments can now say, how can you criticize us for doing things to prisoners? Look at the United States, so-called bastion of the rule of law, defender of human rights. Of course, that's not actually accurate, but people might think that. But the thing is that then you would have that be a degradation of international legal norms. Within the United States itself, the fact that judges and courts have succumbed to government arguments that cases can't go forward, that no victims of torture can find justice on the grounds of state secrets or governmental immunity. There is no immunity for torture, at least not legally. But in the United States, there has been. And it means that in this country now, or at least in that country where I'm talking about, there is a complete confusion about what is legal and what is not legal. And if you followed the last